Good morning, respected teachers, invitees, and everyone present here. A very warm welcome to Dr. A. Surzalal Sharma Memorial Grant Award ceremony organized by North American Manipur Association, NAMA, and Research Institute of Science and Technology, Manipur. Before we begin the main program, let me introduce myself. My name is Farizam Wilina, Research Scholar, Department of Physics, Manipur University, and your host for today's program. Now, I would like to invite on stage the chief guest of today's program, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University. President of today's program, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, Wayne State University, Michigan, USA, who is also the chairman of the Board of Trustees, NAMA. Guest of honor, Professor L. Rasmohan Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Dhanamandjuri University. Professor Sumitra Panjawam, Dean, School of Mathematical and Physical Sciences, Manipur University. And last but not least, Professor Devananda Ningthaujam, Dean, School of Life Sciences, Manipur University. Please come up on stage, sir. Without further delay, let us take a moment to express our gratitude to our special guests for their valuable time. Now, I would like to request our research scholars to present these welcome tokens to our dignitaries. Now, I would like to request our esteemed guests to please step forward for lighting the candle. And after candle lighting, I would like to request all the invitees to pay floral tribute to the departed soul of Dr. A. Surzalal Sharma. Once again, I would like to request all the invitees to pay floral tribute to the departed soul of Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma. Moving forward, I would like to invite on stage Professor N. Nimai Singh, Research Institute of Science and Technology, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
I, on behalf of North American Manipur Association NAMA and its organizing committee led by Dr. Thohen Haisnam, President of NAMA, and my colleague from Research Institute of Science and Technology, welcome all, all the participants gathered here, or respected Chief Guest of today's function, Professor L. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, sir, or respected President of today's function, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of NAMA, a body in advisory capacity, the position held by the late Professor A. Surjal Sharma when he passed away, and working at Department of Ophthalmology, Visual and Anatomical Sciences, Wayne State University, Michigan, USA. Professor Thanjongbom Sumitra, Dean School of Mathematical and Physical Sciences. Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, former Vice Chancellor of Dhanmanjari University, and a founding executive member of our Research Institute of Science and Technology, Professor Devananda Ningthogjam, Dean of Life Sciences, and among the invitees, I want to mention family and relatives of Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma Isemedeli, two sons, Tonku Gopal and Khagemba. Then special invitees, Newpoma Sanjenbam, Malkeki Foundation's one of NAMA's philanthropic partner, our parents of our respected Dr. Thohen Haisnam Manihar Singh, father, and Okram Sumati Devi, mother, and our respected, our former Vice Chancellor, Professor C. Amuba, our respected R.K. Dilip, Wazaibo, Dr. Ibo Singh, Dr. Perdesi, Dr. Rono, Zaratnabala from Mathematics, head of the Department of Mathematics, L. Uttam, the former Director of Department of Science and Technology, Professor R.K. Bhubon from Chemistry Department, Professor Mohilal from Life Sciences, head of the department, Oza Vidayananda, and many others, colleagues from the university. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you. And before that, I want to request our Professor A. Dilip Kumar Singh, Head Department of Physics, to read out the message from Dr. The President of NAMA, please.
A very good morning to everyone. So this is the message from Dr. Thohen Haisnam. A few words of gratitude from the President of NAMA. On behalf of the North American Manipur Association, NAMA, it is my privilege to extend heartfelt thanks to the Research Institute of Science and Technology, Rist, and Manipur University for their support and partnership in organizing this meaningful event. Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma Memorial Grant Award Ceremony. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Grant Review Panel Selection Committee for their dedicated work in carefully reviewing and deliberating on the grant applications to select the participants we are celebrating today. My sincere gratitude goes to Professor Amom Ruhi Kantumete, Committee Chair, and to the storied academicians from diverse fields across North America, namely Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, President of the function today, Professor Bimbisar Irom, Washington State, Dr. Baby Rani Yumnam, Virginia, Dr. Buddhachandra Kundrakpam, Quebec, Canada, and the last but not the least, our guest reviewer, Professor Subhra Bhattacharjee, TFR, India. I thank you for your, I thank you for you, I thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules to give back to the community. To all the applicants, I will say this: you have already won. The variety and the ingenuity of research ideas you have submitted is a testament that the future of our research is bright. Please keep pushing ahead, regardless of the distractions and the frustrations you inevitably will encounter along your path. Doubly in Manipur. We, as the stewards of your youth, need to do our utmost to support these young researchers and remind them we are with them in their darkest hours as we are in celebration such as today. I would also like to thank the organizing team for their tireless efforts in planning and executing this event. Your meticulous attention to detail and commitment have made this occasion memorable and meaningful for everyone. A special word of gratitude goes to Professor Nimai for his invaluable guidance and contributions that have made this program truly impactful. Nama could not have done this without your support. Your dedication to fostering scientific exploration and innovation among our youth is both inspiring and essential to building a brighter future for Manipur. Finally, to all the attendees, supporters, and the grant recipients, thank you for joining us and celebrating this important initiative. Your participation and encouragement ensure that NAMA is able to continue to support pursuit of excellence in science and technology among our youth in Manipur. Thank you. And we look forward to many more such collaborations in future. Dr. Thoyen Hisnam, President, NAMA. And at the end, I would like to just add a sentence that I had served nearly 20 years at PRL, from where Professor A. Surjalal had done his PhD, and where he had also served for a few years. And he was appreciated by one and all in that institute as well. With this, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for delivering the messages from the President of NAMA. Today, we are gathering here to celebrate the recipients of Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma Memorial Grant, a prestigious award established by the North American Manipur Association in memory of the late Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma, a renowned Manipuri astrophysicist and a founding member of NAMA. This grant recognizes exceptional PhD candidates in Manipur who demonstrate academic excellence and a commitment to advancing innovative research in physics, social sciences, humanities, and beyond. Now, I would like to request President of the function, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, to kindly distribute this prestigious award. And the first recipient of the award is Mr. Marimbam Kelvin Singh, Department of Physics, Manipur University, for his project title, Data-Driven Modeling and Prediction of Complex Nonlinear Critical Phenomena in Climate Change Dynamics and Variability in Manipur. Please come up for the stage, Mr. Marimbam Kelvin Singh.
This award includes a certificate and a cash award of 50,000 rupees. And NAMA is a very small group. Our funds are very limited, and we could have given more, but to begin with, we thought we will just contribute something so that they have. This is not going to get much in their research program, but we thought that may be helpful in travel or some writing the thesis, this kind of small things. And NAMA, being the oldest Manipuri for Manipur Association in the North America is known by many organizations in the US, India, and even the government of India always invites us if they have a function. So with these awards, it might help them to have little bit of their resume so that people will also recognize them, and that NAMA may also be recognized by others, so mutual benefit for the thing. So I will provide this.
Thank you. Next, I would like to invite on stage the second recipient of the award, Mr. Somi Raikhan, Department of History, Manipur University, for his title, Analytical Study of Christianity from the Indigenous Perspective in the late 19th and early 20th century, Manipur.
This award was considered to be in two streams, one in the scientific stream and the other one is the humanitarian humanities stream. And there were many applications, all were good. But recipient, after discussion and after long deliberation, Mr. Raikhan's submission was considered to be the best for this program. And starting from, I myself did a lot of studies in the history of Manipur, from Pettigrew to Robert Watson in the south in Sanbon to the Okrur, all the 1906, and then 1812 in Sanbon, right? You may be knowing in the south and the north. So in the 1960s to 2000, I wrote a lot of articles about Manipur history, art, and culture. That is in the internet. At the time, there was none about Manipur, so we thought our youngers, when they look at the internet, they will see something about Manipur other than bomb blasts and other things. So that was our aim. Okay. So very nice. Thank you. Again. So this is the certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Sami Raikhan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have candidates with honorable mentions. May I now invite on stage Mr. Sanam Thabam Rudrajit Singh, Department of Physical Education and Sports Science, Dhanmanjari University, Imphal, for his project title, Understanding the Health Problems of Internally Displaced Persons in Manipur.
The applications of the honorable mention were equally good, but at the end, the committee decided, because our limited fund, so we cannot make a case award, but we appreciate.
Next, I would like to call up on stage Mr. Harambung Momin Anal, Department of Physics, Manipur University, for his project title, Synthetic Gas Fields and Spin Systems in Optical Lattices. Okay, now moving on to our next. Next, I would like to request Ms. Santirani Thoksom, Department of Biochemistry, Manipur University, to come up on stage for her project title, Functional Significance of Biosynthetic Gene Clusters in the Genome of Endophytic Bacteria Associated with Certain Ethnomedicinal Plants of Manipur.
I just want to mention that her application was just 0.1% less than the other two. You deserve all the credits too.
Next, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Bikas Ningthausam, Department of Philosophy, Manipur University, Imphal, for his project titled A Reflection of Gadamar's Hermeneutics and its Significance in the Society. Mr. Bikas Ningthausam. May I further request President of the function, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, to kindly share a few words on Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma's extraordinary legacy and impact on Manipuri researchers.
Thank you very much. It's very hard to say, to describe about our brother. We always call it Tamil. In the US, everyone has their own profession, but we are all Tamil and Inau. That is what we call each other. So Tamil in the Delhi came back from the US in 1982 or sometime in the Ahmedabad. I was doing my master's program in 1982 in Ahmedabad. There was a expo handloom handicraft program, and I was selling handicraft programs there. I was a master's student, but we were helping them to do it. So Tamu and Delhi came, and we were talking, and then we get to know each other. Then I went on to Bangalore for my PhD, and in 1990, I went to the US. It was very cold, January 11 in the US, freezing, and I was very depressed couple of months because no one was there, weather was so bad, I cannot go out, no car. I was always in the room because in India, we are all outdoor people, right? So 2 months after that, a friend of mine, he was in the John Hopkins, doing postdoc over there, called me up and they say, I found a Manipuri person in Maryland. So he told me name is Surjalal Sharma. And then I said, I know him, I met him. So he gave me the telephone number and I called Tamu and they started talking. He made me like a little bit better in knowing someone. Then in 1992, there was a Nama formation. It was Sema Delhi and Drita Kumar Sharma. There were other people, Guru Navaganas, Singha. All of them thought we should have and M.K. Vinodini was there. He visited his son, Swami Roy. Wanted to have a Nama, means North American, some association kind of thing. So there was a discussion. I was not present at that because I was just going back to India and just came back. And I couldn't, but I was informed all the things. There was a discussion that we should call, most of the people at the time are from Bangladesh. The Meiteis and Manipuris are all from Bangladesh. Manipur people were very few. So the name should be North American Manipuri Association. That was the first suggested. But some of us, we thought, if you say Manipuri, it will be the people of Manipur. But at that time, we had Americans who are married to Manipuri, Indian married to Manipuri, or Manipur people, Manipuri married to other people. So we said, and the Manipuri term itself at that time was not accepted by other communities in the state itself. So we discussed and deliberated that anyone who loves Manipur should be a member of the organization, and we should call it North American Manipur Association. That is how the name came. But many people, still think it's a Manipuri Association. But it's not Manipuri, it's a Manipur Association. And the members should be staying in the North America only, because there were some issues who wants to be members from India, from Manipur, and people wanted to be members, but we said members should be only those who are in the US or Canada or Mexico, North America. That's how we started. Then next year, the NAMA convention was in Washington, D.C., right? And my wife and I drove from Jackson, Mississippi. At that time, I moved from Columbus, Ohio to Jackson, Mississippi. We drove and arrived in Isema's house. We stayed there. Isema received us very well. Tonku was maybe 5, 6 years old, 7, I don't know. And Kagi was in the stroller. And my son was not yet born at the time. So we have a good time in Washington, D.C. And Tamo was always, when we discuss things we cannot solve, lastly it will go to Tamo Switzerland. That will be the final. When there are so many opinions and all, finally it will go to Tamo and he will be the decider. And everyone will accept that. That is how it was. And one of his qualities that we learn from him is he never gets angry. He never gets angry at anybody or at anything. He is a very cool head. So those kind of qualities are his personnel. In research-wise, he was doing his own thing. He did very well in astrophysics and scientists and all those things in his own. But to us, he was just a Tamil. Whenever we have problems, we go to him. So he was a leader. He was his own activities were there. Sema was there. Kids were there. Boy Scout. All sorts of activities he was participating. But we, last November sometime, we were having a Zoom meeting about how things should be done about the NAMA. And he was actively participating and all. But after a few days or weeks, we heard the news he's not well. And we wish him recovery. But when his time comes, we all go. We cannot stop the clock. Everyone has their own time. So we remember him. We inspire from him to run the organization. And after his passing away, the executive team and the others gave me the opportunity to serve as chair of the board of trustees for NAMA. And difficult times because of the conflicts in Manipur reached our place there. We have so many opinions, so many young people, younger generations and older generations. So this NAMA is a non-profit, non-political organization. So when anything happens in Manipur that involves political issues, we cannot actively participate. We support the activities, the things. I think we collected money for the funds to provide to the displaced individuals and for the women's empowerment programs and things like that. We collect funds and send it to them. But we usually send it to the governor's funds, not to other individual organizations, things like that. So we always prefer to send it to governor's funds where they can use. So these kind of activities we participate under Tamo's guidance whenever there is, but now he's gone. And difficult times when it comes to, now they come to me. And I am not as good as he was to handle people's personalities. Sometimes I get angry, sometimes I say some things I should not say, and later I regret. So those kind of qualities we try to slow down and learn from him. And one thing is that when we started, we have Jupiter Yambem. He was our founding member. On the 9th, 11th, he was working on top of the world, the Twin Towers. He was the only Indian in that incident, and we tried to call him in the phone. It was ringing, but no answer. And a couple of days later, we found he is no more. So we were very, very heartfelt sorry for the event, because he was also one of the very active member for Nama. So his loss was a loss for Nama and a disorientation for the society organization. And couple of years, there were no activities. We were just lost with his loss. And at that time, Tamu Surjalal came and said, we have to start strong here again. So he was the one who took the charge and bring it back to them. And yeah, we have another program in the afternoon, right? Some about diasporas in the U.S. and things like that. So I will leave some part for that program. So with this, I pray Tamu's soul to rest in peace in the heavenly abode, and pray for Isema and Tonku to have a peaceful life, because he was a very peaceful person. He won't like us, any one of us to be fighting, quarreling, or arguing. So understanding each other was his motto. So with these words, I will conclude.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such an interesting story of late Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma. Now, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Myrimbam Kelvin to kindly share a few words. Mr. Myrimbam Kelvin.
Very good afternoon to all present here, respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Professor Lalit Pokramram, Wayne State University, Michigan, USA, Professor N. Raj Mohan Singh, former Vice Chancellor, DM University, Professor Sumitra Panjaubam, Dean School of Mathematical and Physical Sciences, MU, and Professor Devananda Nithausam, Dean School of Life Sciences, and my respected teachers and invitees and fellow researchers. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the North American Manipur Association for presenting me this award. And not only that, I would also like to express my gratitude for initiating this kind of award ceremony in the name of Oja Surjalal. Personally, I had the privilege and honor of working with Oja Surjalal for quite a short period of time, honestly. It was during the peak time of our ethnic conflict, and there was no internet here in Manipur, and he came here every day. And first of all, my supervisor told me that Oja Surjalal wants to have a collaborative research with someone from our department. So at first, when I heard it, it was quite nervy for me to have a collaborative research with Oja Surjalal, who is one of respected and reputed physicists from our state. So when I first met him, I went into his room, and when he greeted me, he had already laid down an entire map of what I should do. He had a particular whiteboard, and he had written everything, like from where should I start and to where should I end. I still have that snapshot of that, So we began our work, and one particular thing that caught my attention was that at the end, what we were trying to conclude with was trying to, just as far as possible, what he wanted to do was to uh, reflect our own research in the field of physics with what we can do to our society in general. So in particular, he was mentioning about the extreme climatic events of our Manipur. And by that time, we have experienced lots of extreme weather events like flash floods, extreme temperature, and extreme cold, and so on. So he was mentioning that, and then we just began our research, and then he went back to US, and then we communicated through email. And it was quite unfortunate that before he could give a concluding remark on our research, he passed away. But I hope with the receipt of this particular grant, I hope I can fulfill his legacy, and I'll try my best to fully commit and pursue further research. And the specific reason why I chose the topic of climate variability in Manipur is because of what he motivated me during his time. Like he wanted to do something about the climate feature of Manipur, and that's why I chose this topic. So once again, I thank the North American Manipuri Association for presenting me this award. And yeah, lastly, I would like to say that I will try to fulfill this legacy, and I will commit myself to the fullest. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin, for sharing how you met our Oza Surjalal Sharma. Next, I would like to call on stage Mr. Somi Raikan to kindly share a few words.
First and foremost, I would like to give my thanks to the North American Manipur Associations for giving me this prestigious award. And I am extremely overwhelmed and truly honored by this award. And I would also like to extend my congratulations to my co-winner, Galvin Singh from the Department of Physics. It gives us incentive to work harder for our research and contribute more in our respective field, of research. Honorable Vice Chancellor of this university, senior professors, Board of Trustee and MA, my colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, as a proud recipient of this award, I honor and feel that I honor the visions of Dr. late Sucharalal Sharma and committed to make a profound academic impact in my social science research. Today, I'm a bit honorable, yet at the same time intimidated by the presence of our Vice Chancellor because he was the HOD of our department. So I feel like I'm giving another round of PhD interview, but I hope it goes well. So let me begin with how I began to do this research. So I did my pre-PhD in the summer sessions of June 2022 and final registrations in June 2023 again. So I'm currently working under the supervisions of Dr. Misala Ramakrishna under the topic Analytical Study of Christianity from the Indigenous Perspective in the late 19th and early 20th century. So this idea of research traced back to my MA days, where I happened to offer one elective course, that is Religion and Community in Colonial Manipur. So in that paper, most of the lectures, most of the reading lists are mostly about caste-based conversions in mainland India. So I began to ask myself why history from the Northeast, why people of those margins are not able to include in the structure syllabus of many leading universities and colleges. So these questions started asking in my mind while listening and reading some of the readings that I studied in my MA. So I see two problems in our academic paradigm. One is at the institutional level, where our history, our literature, our memory are not part of the syllabus structures, are not part of the history of many leading institutions in Indian universities. And the other thing is in the field the colonial writings, by the writings of these missionaries. So when I start working on the synopsis of this research topic, I talk to some of my friends, to some of my colleagues, to some of my teachers, and what got from them mostly is, why do you want to work on this research topic? Again, this topic is one of the most researched topic in Northeast India history. What new perspectives would you like to bring here in this topic? So it gives me more hard work to read the existing literature more closely, and I came to know that yes, I'm not denying the fact that there are many research works already done in this field of study, but I see only one-sided story, that is the success stories of missionary movements in the hills. So I began to read closely and come to the conclusions that I need to write history where the other voice, the other agency of history are neglected and overlooked in the mainstream national history. So how I see my work in relations to the work that I've already done in this area is, I want to write this history not from the colonial perspective, but from the perspective of those converts who converted to Christianity. So missionary movement is a big historical event which I can connect it from Latin America to African countries and Southeast Asia, including the northeastern part of India, through these historical trajectories of colonialism. So this late 19th century and 20th century is also very significant in our academic discourse because it brings us new perspective where we witness the transitions from pre-gospel to the gospel period, and also we witness a domain of shifting from orality to the written text, and the increasing number of codifications and textualizations through the introductions of English education. So in the colonial discourse, what I see is most of the colonial archives, missionary archives, are written in such a way that they control the narratives, and we are not able to get out of the box and be the owner of our own history. So I want to write this narrative in such a way that we know the discourse of our own history, we know the history of our own people. So in such a way I want to write. So I was reading a lot of subaltern schools of thought history, and I'm extremely influenced by the works of Ranajit Guha. Subaltern school of thought in many ways are extremely important for modern research scholars like me, because it gives me incentive to look at the history from different perspectives. And subaltern school of thought, which is the coin itself, was done by the Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci, referring to those people at the margins like the peasants, the common people, the slaves. And Ranajit Guha in his work applied this term in different historical contexts and applied in Indian history by countering the elitist school of thought in Indian history. So I took the conceptual, the theoretical analysis, the influence of Ranajit Guha in applying the same method in doing this missionary history. So one reason why we are not able to write indigenous-oriented history is we don't know how to read the sources. So I'm trying to read these colonial sources, this colonial history, along and against the grain, along in the sense that I need to know the context, how these source materials, how the knowledge are produced by the missionaries, by the colonial officials, and also read in between the lines, find the missing dots and connect it, and write in such a way that I can also bring out those voices which are underrepresented in the mainstream national history. So the current trend of missionary writing in Northeast India are in such a way framed that we only know the success stories of the missionary movements. So what are those overlooked domains, those neglected spaces that we are not able to see it, we are not able to write it, are those aspects which we do not know the real life experiences, the private memories, the problems that are faced within the family members in the public space. Such things we do not see in the missionary history of the current trend of writing. So I'm trying to write this history from the convert's perspective. History where I need to share my findings, my knowledge, and for me research is about finding what I found, sharing what I know, what I find in the research, rather than keeping those knowledge within myself. So as a recipient of this award, I believe that, my works, my academic experiences connects well to the visions of this late Dr. Sharma Memorial Grant. Thank you so much for your kind listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Somiraikan, for sharing such an interesting research area. May I now have the pleasure to invite the chief guest of today's function, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, to kindly give space with a few words.
Distinguished members on the dais, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, the leader of the North American Manipur Association, Professor Rajmohan, the former Vice Chancellor of DM University, Professor Sumitra, Dean School of Mathematical and Physical Sciences, Professor Devanand, Dean School of Life Sciences, Oza Muba, former Vice Chancellor of Manipur University, Madam Dilli, Professor Nimai, Professor Upendra, Professor Ratnabala, Professor Ibo, our very learned Dr. Pardesi, Oza Sumati, Tamo Manihar, learned members of the faculties of the university, Professor Muhilal, very, very distinguished invitees, friends from the media, and ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank the North American Manipur Association for taking up this initiative of encouraging and motivating two of our young research scholars by awarding the Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma Memorial Grant and also by way of encouraging some other research scholars of our university. Professor Nimai has been working very closely with late Dr. Surjalal Sharma. It was during the tenure of Professor Amuba that Manipur University had agreed to support RIST, that is Rist, as a self-financing institute. One late evening when we were about to leave the office of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Amuba was also there. Professor Nimai had come and he told me that let Surjalal would be going the next day, would be leaving say Manipur, and he was interested that this should be tied up with Manipur University. So immediately we issued that letter. I had heard about Dr. Surjalal when I was a student in Central School. I was in my class 11 or 10. We had read in the local paper about Surjalal having been awarded National Science Talent Scholarship. And those days it was a very reputed and a very, very well-known scholarship, and we were told that he would be getting full scholarship for his entire educational life, including the PhD program. And later on I came to know that he was in Delhi University, and when I joined Delhi University as an undergraduate student in 1973-74 batch, I met him physically in Goya Hall. I remember that day Sanamani Yambem was also there. He was very close to Sanamani Yambem also. And there were 2-3 other seniors. The former DGP Joy Kumar was also there. Then Amo Jivan Thuringjam was also there. And I was with my friend, Mr. Dhankumar. He is a retired IGP. So we met them. We had interaction, and we came to know about his interest in encouraging the members of the MSAD. Very few members of MSAD now, they realized that late Surjalal was a founding leader of MSAD, which is so popular now. After that, because of his very hectic schedule, academic program, and also our engagement in our routine teaching learning process in the university, we intermittently we used to meet, but not very frequently. And Madam Dilli was also in Miranda House those days. And after once or twice also, we had joint meeting in the hall of Goya Hall. This MSAD's meeting was held in the hall of Goya Hall. Then, few years after I joined Jawaharlal Nehru University, Dr. Surjalal would be, I remember that day when I met him in Delhi School of Economics. He was coming for a seminar, I think. So we had a chat for about 5-6 minutes, and he was telling me that he was coming all the way from Ahmedabad to attend that seminar. So I think we sat down together for a cup of coffee in the Vivekananda. There is a dhaba there, just adjacent to Vivekananda Hall. Then I took up my own program, academic program. He was so busy in other things. After I joined JNU, 2-3 times I met in Professor Ibo's room, this Dr. Surjalal. I came to know that Professor Ibo was one of a very close school friend, and our very respected Dr. Pardesi. Sometime Dr. Pardesi those days was in AIMS. He used to come at Professor Ibo's room, and Dr. Surjalal was also there. And we had a lot of discussions on the Albanian political issues and all that. That's how I had that kind of association with Dr. Surjalal. And he was very closely following the political developments in Albania also those days. Then, after a lot of time, when I assumed the office of the Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, he visited Manipur University, and before that, Manipur University had agreed to host Fulbright scholars, because I had also visited some university in US as a Fulbright scholar, and we are supposed to be the host. So he came, and in this same hall, he was giving very interesting talk on the, I don't know if it was a theory of complexity or something, It was the combinations of science, humanities, and the social sciences, which really attracted my mind, and because social science discipline is also, in the process of great transformations. All the methods which we used to, read, apply, and which we used to think very seriously, it has undergone a lot of changes and transformation. And I was extremely impressed. And he exhibited the same kind of very calm, relaxed, direct to the point. He was trying to make each and every issue as clear, as possible to our listeners. And we had thoroughly enjoyed that. Then suddenly, after a few months, I had heard about his passing away, and that's how the story goes on. Now, the fact that Nama has very kindly and has very in the larger interest of the students, youths, and the academic community in Manipur, has taken up the initiative of encouraging and motivating our students and scholars. I feel that many of us from Delhi University, good number of us are here in Manipur University, as well as in various departments in the government, the departments of the state, as well as many are in the business. We can actually, if Professor Nimai will agree, we can have some kind of a gathering sometime after this New Year's, and we will talk out, we can deliberate on how to encourage and how to make the initiatives taken by Nama as a continuing process. From Nama side, they are most welcome to take up any kind of initiative, but from the side of our community, who have the same kind of a background, with whom we had associated in Delhi University, in JNU, and other higher educational institutes in Delhi, we can also take up some programs, and we will try to go hand in hand with the programs that has been taken up by Nama, so that this kind of an initiative for encouraging, motivating, and incentivizing our young students and academic will, continue, and that should be an important means of, giving some kind of a hope to our young students and the youths at this time of crisis in the state. With these few words, I want to thank Oza Sumati. One night, she rang up my house, and she was asking about the initiatives being taken up by Manipur University in this regard. I told her that Professor Nimai is all the time talking and running about this. So it's a great event, and I think Professor Sumitra is also there. Many other, members of our fraternity from those days are still there. So we will continue working for this, and I think we should have a general meeting sometime on some holiday, and we will have a actionable kind of a program. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing a story on how you met Oza Surjalal. Next, I would like to request Professor N. Rasmohan Singh to kindly present a speech in a while.
A very good afternoon. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor N. Lokendra, Chief Guest of this solemn function, respected Professor Lalit Pukambam, Pine State University and founder member of NAMA, who gave an excellent talk regarding NAMA and about our Camus Switzerland also. Respected guest of honor, Professor Sumitra Panjabam, Dean School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, my colleague Professor Devananda, Dean School of Life Sciences, former Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor C.M. Uba, Professor N. Mai, Brother R.K. Dilip, Tema, Delhi, and the family, Namo Pardesi Lal, Namo Ibo, Namo R.S. Longjam, Professor Ratnabala, Professor Mohilan, former Director GST, Delightum Uttamchan, my esteemed faculty members of Manipur University, research scholars, students, and media persons. At the outset, I would like to thank especially the North American Manipuri Association NAMA official members, and in particular Professor Lalit for initiating such an important, that is North American Dr. Under that NAMA, Dr. A. Switzerland Sharma Memorial Grant Award ceremony. And this NAMA, as we know, they are doing so many commendable works, not only in the research also, but other areas also. I came to know Professor Switzerland in a late hour. If my memory is correct, that was in 2010. That time myself, Professor Nimai, Professor Devan, and some of my like-minded colleagues was trying to establish this Research Institute of Science and Technology, Impal, that is RISD, Rist. And that time we thought and discussed that let's propose Namo Switzerland as the founder director of this Rist. We approached him, and he was kind enough to accept our proposal. So Professor Switzerland is the founder, president of Research Institute of Science and Technology, Imphal. And under his guidance, we tried our best level how to improve this RIST. And he suggested to apply projects. And we applied to Government of India, big projects. But they are suggesting that your proposal is very, very good, but we need a recognition from Government of Manipur. So, Brother Dilip, myself, we try our best level, but not materialized yet. That is our headache now. But we will try our best level again to establish this research institute. Regarding his academic career and his contributions in research, I would like to highlight a little bit in short. Professor Switzerland joined first batch of class 9 under CBSE New Delhi. That time there was 3 years course starting from class 9, 10 and 11. So 11 was very, very important that time. So he passed this 11th class in the year 1967. His academic record is very nice, excellent. And even he was also very interested in students' activities. When he was in Jonosul School, he was the general secretary during 1965-66 base. As Professor Loken also highlighted, our Vice Chancellor also already highlighted that he got National Science Talent Search Examination NCRT in 1967. He did his BSc from Keroliman College, Delhi University in Physics Honors in the year 1970. MSc in Physics from Delhi University in 1972. PhD degree from PRL, Physical Research Laboratory, Gujarat, Ahmedabad. And his works regarding research activities are very, very interesting. And he could get visiting positions at Abdus Salam International Center for Theoretical Physics, ICTP, Trichy, Italy. And then Max Planck Institute for Plasma Physics in Germany, Ruhr University, Bochum, again in Germany, and then UKAEA, Coham Science Center, Abingdon, UK, before moving to Maryland University, USA, as a research associate. After that, he came back to India again and joined as a faculty member at the Institute for Plasma Research, IPR, in Gandhinagar, and took a leading role in the scientific and technical design team for the Aditya, the indigenous tokamak of India. In 1987, he moved to the Department of Physics and Astronomy, University of Maryland, College Park, USA, where where he taught astrophysics and serving as the director of Goddard Planetary Heliophysics Institute till his last moment. His research areas include theoretical physics, specialized in modeling and simulation, engaged in transdisciplinary research. His main contributions are, number one, contributed to the themes at the interface of physics and complex systems, including modeling and prediction of space weather, plasma physics, and multi-scale phenomena. Number two, he led research in early 1990s on the data-driven modeling of geospace in a nonlinear dynamical system framework, leading to the first prediction of space weather. Number three, he had been very much active in mentoring students from early level, that is high school level, up to the doctoral level. He guided 12 PhD scholars, 3 masters, 25 undergraduate, and 12 school level students. And he had so many collaborations. Among them, Professor Switzerland was engaged in collaboration in research and education in international physics community, in particular in Northeast India. He organized in India 2 Chapman conferences, which is very, very prestigious international conferences, and it is sponsored by the American Geophysical Union, AGU. He was in the core group that established the AGU Nonlinear Geophysics Focus Group and served as its vice chair and chair during 2002-2008. He was instrumental in establishing AGU, the Court Award for the best PhD dissertation in nonlinear geophysics. He had chaired various committees, including AGU Committee on International Participation and American Physical Society Nominating Committee for the Tropical Group of Physics of Climate Change. He got many foreign fellows. Professor Switzerland was number 1, foreign fellow of the Indian Geophysical Union and a fellow of the American Physical Society. Number 2, he also held visiting professors in many universities, including Royal Institute of Technology, Stockholm, Nagoya University, Nagoya, Japan, Institute for Plasma Research, Gandhinagar, honorary visiting faculty, Manipur University. As a founder, he has been actively engaged in the Manipur diaspora in the North American Manipur Association, NAMA, in 1992, and was the chairman of its board of trustees. He was the founding director of, as I had already mentioned, Research Institute of Science and Technology, Manipur. Professor Switzerland had received many honors and recognition, including NASA Group Achievement Award 1998, American Geophysical Union Lawrence Lecturer 2009, B.P. Das Memorial Lecturer, Physics, Academy of North America. No, this is North America, I think, 2010. University of Maryland Distinguished Research Scientist Prize 2011, P.C. Mohanta Memorial Lecturer, Guwahati University 2012, K.R. Ramanathan Medal and a Lecturer, Indian Geophysics Union 2013, Excellence in Mentoring Prize, University of Maryland 2014, awarded the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship USA 2021 to 2023. We also felicitated, we have one association, Manipur Association for the Promotion of Science, and we also felicitated him as veteran scientist of Manipur in the year 2008. We are very, very proud of being a Manipuri like Professor Switzerland. We are very, very proud of him. And he has shown us that Manipur is famous not only sports and culture, but in science and technology also. Professor Switzerland unfortunately passed away at his residence in USA on January 5th, 2024 at 6:30 a.m. due to an ailment. His passing away is a great loss to all of us. He brought a name of a Manipuri scientist in the world of science at Maryland University, USC. He was never too busy to talk to younger people, and I should say that he should be the role model for the budding scientists of Manipur. I pray God, the Almighty, that his soul take rest in peace in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing us the academic background of Ozal Switzerland as well as his commitment in many research fields. Now, I would like to call up respected Professor Sumitra Panjawam to kindly give a speech with a few words.
distinguished members on the dais, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, and the chief guest of today's function, Professor Lalit Pukhrambam, Wayne State University, Michigan, USA, the president of today's function, and guest of honors, Professor N. Rajmohan Singh, former Vice Chancellor, DM University, Professor Devananda Ningthauzam, Dean, School of Life Sciences, Manipur University, Professor Amuva Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, and Professor of Physics of the Department of Physics, Manipur University, Professor Nimai, who has helped to organize this function today, distinguished invitees, faculty members, and everyone present today. A very good afternoon as we gather here to for this function, the Dr. A. Surjalal Sharma Memorial Grant Award Ceremony. To speak of memorial in connection with Dr. Surjalal Sharma feels so unreal. It's so unreal to speak of him as a memory because his smiling, his composed, calming, and comforting presence remains vividly in our memories and in our hearts and minds. The news of his untimely and very unexpected demise left us all in shock. And the word that instinctively came to mind was Pamukreda. It was really so Pamukreda, a feeling of inexplicable loss that we felt as though something invaluable and very precious was taken away without any rhyme or reason and very untimely. So that is how we felt when we heard of his news. Indeed, it was so Pamukreda. And today I feel very happy to see Ichema Dilli and Ichema Dilli's family after such a long time. And I would like to share that I had known Ichema Dilli from the days of my college days in Miranda House when Ichema was doing her PhD and staying in the Working Women's Hostel. We had some very memorable, loving, and very simple and innocent memories, which I will always cherish. And I would like to tell Ichema and family that we share with you the grief at the loss of Oza Surjalal, and to say that the loss is not just your own, it is a loss for the scientific community of the state, especially the younger generations, for whom he was like a beacon. He was very much trying to give back to the society by sharing what he had experienced and what he knows to bring up the state to a certain level in the field of science. So I feel much has been shared or spoken about Dr. Surjalal, whom we fondly call as Oza Surjalal. So I feel honored to share a few words about him today, stories, very few, that helps to summarize who he was and what he meant to the students and to our community. A tree laden with fruits, bow low. That is, I think, what best describes Oza Surjalal. In spite of his vast knowledge, vast experience, and the accolades that he has received, he remained so simple, so humble, so calm, so assuring. And his presence, as I have said, is so comforting. And he was loved and respected and revered by one and all with whom he associated with. So I would like to share at this point, we had organized a SERC school, DST SERC school, that is a very prestigious school, which I think other than Tezpur University, I think we were the first one to hold this school in non-linear dynamics. And this is a school where about 40 participants has to be enrolled from different parts of the country. And the resource persons are selected by DST Delhi, and they are from premier institutes like IIT Delhi, ISER, or BARC, etc. And they come, like we had around 18 of them coming in turns and giving lectures to the 40 participants. So we requested Professor Ozaz Surjalal also to share his experience and to be present. And as always, he always as supportive and encouraging as he was, he agreed, and he came all the way from USA to be with us for quite a number of days. His presence enriched the SERC school so much, and surprisingly, many of the renowned resource persons whom we thought were very revered and very good in their field, they were so happy and to see Professor Surjalal, and they tried to take pictures with him, and then they were trying to invite him to visit their institutes and to come in future meetings, etc. So that just made me think that the person who was so readily available to us, with whom we could interact so freely, was so much in demand, so popular, so great in his field, but he was so simple that we did not realize the depth and the breadth of his greatness. So that was who Ozaz Surjalal was. And his memory, I would like to say, lingers vividly in this very hall where we are here today, because he has delivered numerous lectures and participated in seminars and even in vivas, etc., activities of the department. And whenever he was present, he enriched every event with his insightful questions, valuable contributions, and thoughtful suggestions. So always it was very enlivening when he was present in the department, and we had so much to learn from him. And at the end of the SERC school, it was mandatory that the participants submit a feedback form where they had to write about how they felt about the lectures, if they want any improvement in future, etc. So we got feedback from the 40 participants, and it was not surprising that Ozaz Surjalal was on the top of the list of all of them, or most of them, I would say. And they expressed that they were very impressed with his lectures. His lectures were very simple, though the subject was intricate, and they enjoyed the interactions with him. So that is the kind of person he was. And the department feels privileged to have been associated with him, because he was the visiting professor also for our department. And his discussions went beyond academic topics, as he sought to inspire and guide students, especially research scholars, by sharing his experiences and instilling confidence in them. So many of our research scholars had told us also that when he is present in the department, they feel very nice, because he had started this program, not program actually, but he has coffee with the students, interact with them, ask them about their work and how they can be motivated and go ahead in their research work as well, but research work and other things, how they can apply abroad, how they, even though they are in a very remote corner of the country, how they can even reach anywhere in the world. So that kind of confidence he used to give to our students, but he was taken away too soon. But I think NAMA's initiative to honor him in this way by instilling a memorial grant to befitting students is very much welcome, and it is befitting also because it continues with the legacy of Ozaz Surjalal to encourage young students and bring up science activities in the community to which he belonged. thank you very much. And to the recipients of this award, I would like to say that you are very lucky and you should work hard and live up to the legacy of Oza Surjalal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for telling us how Oza Surjalal encouraged the research scholars when he was alive. May I further invite respected Professor Devanandani Thousam to kindly deliver a speech.
Esteemed BC Manipur University, Galo Kendra, Professor Lalit Krambam, Ambassador of this very important event of award distribution in memory of Tamu Surjala. I know him since about a century ago. I mean, very long ago. But we have lost touch with each other. But through this institution of Nama Award, hope we will renew our contacts once more in the interest of nurturing young scientific talents in Manipur. Professor Rasmohan, former BC, DMU, Professor Sumitra, Dean School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, Uza Amuba, former BC Manipur University, Professor Nimai, who is the prime mover of today's event, and of course thanks to Lalit and his Nama team for taking up this excellent initiative of award instituted in the name of, in the memory of late Oza. Yeah. My thanks to him through you. Okay. And Professor Nimai, of course, I have mentioned. I know Tamu Surjalal, but I do not know his family personally. But my best wishes and sharing the grief with the family of Tamu Surjalal, friends and colleagues and contemporaries of Tamu Surjalal, even though I do not name all of them one by one, faculty members of the university from different disciplines, other invitees, and media persons, if any. It's a privilege to be a part of this solemn occasion of instituting this Nama A. Surjalal Grand Awards. First of all, my hearty congratulations to all the awardees. And even those who applied but did not get award, I must congratulate them for their courage to be among the reckoning for doing science in our chaotic society. Right now, Manipur is in total chaos, but even then, science must go on. Academics must go on. Teaching, learning must go on. And in the fond memory of Tamu Surjalal, I want to say a few words why science is important. Science is important because science helps us understand the world around us. All these new things that we buy, for example, smartphones, our boys and girls are so fond. But this comes from science, technology. We are just the consumers, okay? But we also must be a part of the creators, or at least the disseminators or the interpreters of science and technology. So science helps us understand the world. uh, all these electric cars, modified crops. There are controversies, but they are important. Then lately we hear about stem cells and regenerative biology. Very soon it is said that kidneys, livers, hearts may be grown in the petri dish, and it might be available in supermarket. Had a transplant of a kidney. Require us to understand science, both the bad as well as the good aspects of science. And also, science will help us. We'll have the problems of agricultural. Even TB. Now there is a TB pathogen which is called XDR, MDR, multi-drug resistant, extended drug resistance. There are about, as far as I understand, of course medical people will probably know more because they are practitioners, but we also study the science behind it. So there are about, five, six drugs currently about TB, like ethambutol, rifampicin, isoniazid and all. But there are now pathogens which are resistant to 4 of such six drugs, or very soon maybe they will be resistant to all 6 drugs. So we need to discover new types of antibiotics, new types of drugs against these superbugs, and also we have the energy problem. One day in the near future, all our fossil fuels will be depleted. So we need to develop new energy sources, maybe in the form of solar, wind energy, biomass energy, especially the biofuels derived from microalgae. So all these are there. And another important reason why we should know science or study science or at least be familiar with science is the engine for economic growth. No economy will grow without science and technology. And that is specific true for Manipur. Also, science and academics allows us to create knowledge, very important. This is what happens in the laboratory departments, so-called research. Teaching is equally important. Unfortunately, the health of teaching learning in our institution is declining. I'm sorry to say this. As a practitioner of this profession for the last 35 years or so, I know that the intensity, the pace, the quality of teaching learning is declining steeply. I don't know why. But then, teaching, disseminating knowledge is very important. And another thing which has come up is interpreters of science. For example, those who write popular science books. For example, Richard Dawkins, who wrote Selfish Gene, and the scientist, world famous scientist who has departed now, Stephen Hawking, A Brief History of Time. Not only scientists, even non-scientists know about this book. And there are books by Carl Sagan on the secrets of cosmology. So all these things are important, not only to do research, create knowledge, disseminate science through teaching, interpret science through books, which can inspire young minds like this. And also, we need to nurture scientific careers of these young minds of our unfortunate state Manipur, which is always trapped in some problem or the other. Okay. Anyway, once again, thank you, Nama, to Professor Lalit for instituting this award, and I hope this award will be annual, starting from this year, or is it only one time?
We have to discuss the
Okay.
executive.
I hope that tradition continues. Okay.
Please continue from my side.
Yeah.
So I request.
So I wish you good luck for continuing this grand. But whatever little we can also help from our side, Ozani, myself. Yeah. From also contribute a little bit. But the initiative must be from Nama, okay? Because it will be more prestigious. In a lighter vein, anything foreign becomes more precious. But we can also be a part of it. Right. Now, and you have done a good thing. I think disciplines a little away from the so-called mainstream science are also included. I believe it is not only required to nurture science, but we also need to nurture humanities, especially. Because science may create atom bomb, okay? But how to moderate that technology? How to regulate that technology? How to decide whether the bomb should be dropped or not? It's not decided by scientists. It's decided by people from humanities background, from philosophy, from ethics, from law, from human rights. So we need to nurture both humanities and science, and the Dalit must be knowing in US, they used to talk about STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Now they have added one more letter. STEM has become STEAM, science, technology, arts, math, and so
Expanded.
even they have a double M also now. So STEAM double M, okay, also is here. So as I said again, we hope, although it has been started from this year. We wish good luck to Nama team, especially to my friend Professor Lalit Bukramba, that this grand scheme may continue for many years to come. And towards this process of inculcating young scientists, young scientific minds, I had played a small part of in establishing certain organizations called MAPS. I was the founder editor of the People's Science Network. I edited it for about 2.5 years before I went briefly for three years or so to complete my PhD at Navy, Nagpur. Unfortunately, many good things in Manipur, they bloom, they blossom, and before bearing fruit, they fall down. Okay? So it's a tragedy, but the initiative on our part was to nurture young scientific talents through organizations like MAPS, People's Science Network. Now I come to Thomas Surjala. He had a lot of grand ideas. Through Rist, he wanted to nurture science in the soil of Manipur. And his grand vision was that Rist becomes something like you have in Assam called ISST, which was also started by some members of Assam Science Society. I have visited the institute several times. I was inquiring about their history. They said Initially, they ran a few projects, MSc, BSc, PhD projects. And what about the money? They said, from our salary, some 5-10 of us share the money. We were ready to do the same thing about Rist. Unfortunately, due to some reason or the other, Rist has not developed in the way that we would have liked it to develop. But let us keep the torch of hope still burning. Okay, so let us try to revive Rist. And also Tamo, one day when he had a brief visit to Manipur, he suddenly visited my hut in the university. I stay in a kind of hut-like environment. So in my very disordered cubicle, he suddenly visited. Devanan, we need to establish an academy. Which academy? No, something on the lines of Indian Academy of Sciences, Northeast Academy. And I think I was one of the 10 or so signatories to the academy. The academy is registered, but we have not been able to launch programs of the academy as well as programs of Rist. But in the own memory of Dhammo Surdalal, let us keep this dream alive. And Udam Uba and many other scientific stalwarts will also lend a helping hand in catalyzing the growth and development of Rist Academy and also this Nama's activities. We always say that Manipur is very small. But so also is Singapore. So also is Taiwan. Okay. Israel also is very small. But Israel now has homegrown Nobel laureates. Okay. Why? Because Israel has world-class institutes such as Weizmann Institute, Hebrew University, and Technion. So I think we also need to establish world-class institutes in our soil. And I think Dhammo Surdal's own hope was that Rist should be a torch-bearer of such excellent world-class institutes. So, just like a small country like Israel can play a crucial role in the world scientific scenario, Manipur also, even though we are a small state, we can. It is very interesting to observe that many of our, not all, but many of our colleges and universities are not in the best of health. Okay? Even then, many bright, talented young boys and girls, they come up in spite of the system. Okay? In spite of the system. If Rist is reinvigorated and it ultimately becomes an institute of excellence, we will not only have scientists, young scientists which come up in spite of the system, but young scientists which come up with the system, nurtured by the system. So I look forward to a future in which Rist becomes a research institute, and I seek the help, blessing, and the helping hand of all those who are gathered here. Ultimately, I would like to say that man is mortal, everyone knows, we all will die. Body is maybe mortal, but the ideas, the visions, and the spirit of the man, I mean the women also, because gender equity, okay. Men means I mean women also, okay. So that even if the body is gone, the spirit lives on, especially those with good ideas. And Dhammo Surdalal was one of them. Let us, and I do not think that he is gone from us. His body may be gone, but his spirit, his vision, his ideas still live with us. Let us cherish his own memory, and let us keep his spirit alive through Nama, through Rist, and through the Northeast Science Academy. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Good
we want to continue, but there is a upper boundary condition. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor and our Honorable Professor Lalit Pukhambang, they are supposed to attend a very important function of the university at 1:30.
That's
It is
what-
approaching. So, so otherwise I want to invite many more people, Sharma, Muba, so please excuse. So let us wind up. Dr. Robertson, please give your...
But can you stay another 5 minutes?
Yeah, yeah.
I think you can still stay another 5 minutes.
May I now invite respected Professor Lalit Pukhambang to present a special token as a way of expressing gratitude to our respected professor and Nimai Singh Research Institute of Science and Technology.
Very much required.
All these functions, it was not in the program. All these functions won't be happening without Professor Nimai's efforts. So, from Nama's side, executive team and the advisors or the board of trustees present a calendar. That's the Nama calendar for 2025, which has 6 pictures from Manipur and 6 pictures from the US. So one of these. And for the organization of this function, on the some of the expenses to bear with, and we also contribute about 20,000 of this. So and personally, I came here for my father's struggle. He passed away 2 weeks ago. And he has a book of his own, his life history. This is the history of a simple man. It is all his life history, so I would also like to.
From my side, I also present something. It is the book prepared by Rist, Research Institute of Science and Technology. Unfortunately, I wanted to include your name, but somehow I missed your
Next edition.
Yes, from 2% from America, no doubt, and Thank you. Thank you very
Before concluding today's program, I would like to invite on stage Dr. S. Robertson Singh, Research Institute of Science and Technology to present the Board of Things.
Very good afternoon. On behalf of organizing committee, I extend my sincere gratitude to all who have made this award ceremony so special. I thank our esteemed chief guest, Professor N. Lokendra Singh, Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, for taking time from his busy schedule to be with us. I also extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Professor N. Rasmohan Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Manipur University, Professor Sumitra Khanjobam, Dean, School of Mathematical and Physical Sciences, Manipur University, Professor Devanjani Thokdam, Dean, School of Life Sciences, Manipur University, for their presence and support. My heartfelt thanks to our President, Professor Lalit Pukhambang, Western University, for the support in organizing this award ceremony. I thank Professor N. Nimai, Research Institute of Science and Technology, Manipur, whose leadership has been instrumental in making this award ceremony a success. I also want to express my deep gratitude to the family members of Dr. A. Sharma. Your presence here makes this award ceremony truly special. I would like to express my deep appreciation to Dr. Thohen Haisnam, President, American Manipur Association, NAMA, and members of NAMA for establishing the Dr. A. Sharma Memorial Grant Award, which honors the legacy of Dr. A. Sharma. I thank all the invitees, faculty members, research scholars, and students present here for this award ceremony and making this award ceremony a grand success. I thank the members of media, especially Notice Window TV, for sharing this event. I owe a huge thanks to our dedicated volunteers. Your tireless effort have been essential in making this event a success. And finally, to our award winners, congratulations once again. Thank you for being a part of this award ceremony.